friends? I wanted to make a quick video to talk about something that happened to me today. I went and ran some errands, like really mundane adult stuff, like going to the DMV and the tag office and just stupid like stuff like that just makes you feel exhausted and wish that you were not an adult. But that's an entirely different video. But I went to the tag office and there weren't that many people in there, and I was standing at the counter, and at the other end of the counter this guy was there, and he was probably like in his 70s, I would say, like, I don't know, early 70s. I couldn't tell exactly like what he was there for. It sounded like he was renewing a license of some kind. The woman that was at the counter was asking him something about like, were you wanting to pay for 2 years? I guess maybe something had expired, and so he was maybe like overdue on paying something. I don't know. But he was just like so nasty to her, and he was like, well, I don't understand why I would pay for something I didn't even use. And then he starts like going off on her, you know, saying that like it's awfully arrogant of the county clerk's office to, you know, do that. And I don't know. Again, I don't know what exactly the like context was. All I know is that she was asking him questions, being very like polite, and he was like such an ass to her. And in that moment, I was just like looking down the counter at this, and I'm getting my tag renewed, and there's like another couple that's down in between like this guy and where I was, and you know, we're all just kind of looking at each other like, oh my gosh, what is wrong with this guy? And in that moment, I was so tempted to, oh, look at that. I'm sitting in front of the window, it's fine. But in that moment, I came so close to like saying something. I came so close to, you know, telling him like, sir, you don't need to speak to her like that. Like, she's just doing her job. I don't understand why you're being so hateful. And I didn't say anything. I wrapped up with my thing, and like he wasn't really saying anything anymore. And I don't know why I'm so breathless. I feel so out of breath. I don't know. I think I was running around with Manny before this, and I just got like super winded. I'm just talking too fast and not breathing enough, so I'm sorry. Okay, stop going on tangents. Just make your point. Make your point. I finish up, and I mean, even after he had kind of like stopped going off on her, like I had like finished, and I was like, I'm gonna say something, and I walked out the door, and I thought, I almost turned around, like when I was in the parking lot, I almost turned around, like even after the moment, to go back in and tell him like how not okay it was that he had been that way towards her, and I didn't. I did end up going back a little bit later. Like I went back to the clerk's office, and I like went up to the woman and apologized. I said, I was here when that guy was being so hateful towards you, and I wanted to say something, and I chickened out and I didn't, and I'm really sorry because it wasn't okay, you know, the way that he talked to you, and I'm sorry that I didn't say anything to him and call him out on that behavior because it wasn't right. You know, I think it's really easy to be able to hold people accountable like online. You know, if someone's being a jerk online, to say like, hey, you need to stop that or whatever. It seems so easy in theory, the idea of like, if you see somebody getting bullied, like say something. But I just thought about how hard it is when it actually comes to that moment, when it is right in front of your face and you are looking at another human and determining like, do I want to intervene on this other person's behalf? It's so hard. And why is it so hard? I think, you know, I think we're so scared of like it getting turned on us, like, you know, he's just gonna start being hateful to me and I don't wanna, you know, deal with that, or like it's not my problem, which is not the thought that I had in that moment. I think I was just like, you know, is he gonna start being hateful to me? And then like, you know, the moment passed and I just didn't do anything. But just thinking about why it's so hard sometimes for us to just be able to call somebody out on being shitty. Like, why is that so difficult? And I mean, it also goes to show that like, you know, bullying doesn't necessarily stop when you get out of school. There are all forms of bullying. Like, he was being a bully to her and just very disrespectful. And I absolutely think of that as bullying. And, you know, it's really sad that that's not necessarily something that goes away when you get older, it just kind of takes a different shape. And you know, when I went back in and I said something to her, she said, you know, yeah, like that, you know, he really did hurt my feelings. And I was just like, I'm so sorry. I am sorry that I didn't, you know, say something in that moment. I should have said something, and I should have stuck up for you. And that just, I don't know, it just bothered me. So I guess like the point of this whole video is just to say, like, it is really hard, even as an adult, which, you know, I feel like as an adult, there are far less consequences. Like for me in that situation, there's far less fallout of me like calling out a stranger for being a jerk. I'm never probably gonna see him again, so like, you know, very little consequence. I just keep getting ghostier and ghostier. But there's very little like fallout that could happen with me as an adult, like calling out another adult. And I know that it is so hard to, you know, be of like the high school, middle school age and intervene on someone's behalf, because, you know, you would get a lot more backlash for that. That should have been easy for me today. It should have been easy for me to say like, hey you stop that. But like, with a little more oomph. It's hard, but we should do it more often, because we shouldn't be like scared of sticking up for other people. I hope that if you guys ever get the opportunity to like stop something from happening, or you know, stop somebody from being crappy to another person, like if you get that chance, like I hope that you take it, because I felt really bad about not taking it. And I hope that, you know, I will have the courage next time if I see somebody being an ass to say, hey, being an ass. Just be good to people. I don't know, just be nice to people. That's it. I mean, that was the purpose of this. I don't know, be nice. Just be nice. All right, I love you, bye.